Hello and welcome all. Thank you for coming back. This is episode 14, I believe. Yes, of the Halloween countdown with Legendary Lunacy. If this is your first video with us, we're just doing a video a day every day this month. And once October is up, we'll start doing short films and whatnot. Until that time comes, we'll be doing just random videos about talking about horror things, whatnot. If you like this stuff, or if you like the topics we're talking about, like, share, and subscribe, because the more subscribes and likes I get, the more effort I can put into my YouTube channel. If I get a lot of subscribers, maybe I can do this full time. Do in-depth research on all these topics. Anyways, I digress. Today's episode, we're going to start off with something, and then we'll get into the main topic. Both of these topics are things I would like to talk full, in-depth, half-hour videos on. But considering that it's already 12:43 in the morning and I'm running late, I'm going to just go ahead and get this done real quick so I can get it out there. Sorry, so without further ado. The year is 1999, October 5th. Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost is released. I don't know if it went to theaters or if it was just straight to video release, but that doesn't matter. Anyways, in it, the Mystery Incorporated gang goes up to Massachusetts, where they are supposed to find the ghost of a witch. Shocking, I know, considering the name is Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Anyways, they get there, and not only do they not immediately find the witch's ghost, instead they run into a group of very, very pretty goth girls who are rocking out as hard as they can. Who are these goth girls, you may ask? They go by names: Dusk, Luna, and the ever-so-attractive Thorn, also known as Sally McKnight. Now, what do these girls do? They completely changed my taste in women for years, but that's not it. They also play rock and roll music. These girls are the Hex Girls, an all-girl rock group who also, I think it might just be the lead singer, but it could be the others. Anyways, they are wicked! Descendants from years ago of, like, good witches who do not serve downstairs, but just kind of use the magic and stuff to heal others. They were like healing witches and stuff like that. Now, why do I bring this up? Because the Hex Girls use the witch and vampire and dark imagery to make their band more memorable, more noticeable, and like people would know who they were. Like if you saw goth girls dressed up like vampires, you would think, oh, it's the Hex Girls, that kind of thing. Why is that important? Because today's video is actually about another rock band, a rock band that is a little bit more well-known than the Hex Girls, and one of my favorite rock bands, and that band is named Ghost. Now, aside from the imagery of the two bands and everything, why did I bring up the Hex Girls to talk about Ghost? Well, number one, I love the Hex Girls. Number two, it's my channel, I'll do whatever I want. And number three, Ghost and Scooby-Doo have a closer connection than you think. Now, while some people don't consider Ghost actual rock and roll, or actual metal, it is rock and roll, you can't deny that. But people don't consider it metal because its sound is different than most rock metal groups. But one thing that Ghost is called very often, in fact, when I was talking with a coworker in a show the other day about Ghost, they asked, oh, is that the Scooby-Doo rock group? And, well, no, they've not done anything for Scooby-Doo as far as I recall. They do have a very peculiar sound. I'll play a snippet of it for you. So Ghost originated in Sweden in 2006, and one very distinct thing about Ghost, aside from their sound, which, if you listen to this, it almost sounds like Scooby-Doo chase music. And while some people might consider that a bad thing, I love that about it. I love Scooby-Doo. I love this music. It's good. They're a very dark band. Very dark imagery. They use the whole satanic stuff as, like, imagery to attract people to see it and be like, oh, look at this dark band. They're doing all this. For them, it's all a big show. And when I say show, I mean costumes and everything. 7 of the 8 band members wear identical outfits, like tops with pants, like black shirts and jackets and whatnot, that all look identical to each other. Then they wear demon masks, usually, with horns and no mouth, so they all are indistinguishable from each other, which that has changed a little bit now. They've got new mask designs and whatnot. The only one who stands out is the lead singer, commonly referred to as Papa Emeritus, who dresses as a devil preacher or a demon pope. And in concert, he will constantly change costumes, and each costume is more crazy and more intricate than the last. Another thing they do is they will bring in lots of decor to make the venue look more like a church. Like they'll bring in 30-foot tall stained glass windows to arenas and whatnot to make it look like you're actually at a church for this. So yeah, really dark stuff, but very good. They have 5 albums out currently. 6 if you count some of their smaller releases, like the re-release of the 7 Inches of Satanic Panic, which I consider an album. But another thing with it is there's a storyline behind the whole thing as well. There have been several Papa Emerituses. There's 1, 2, 3, Nihil, which is 0, and 4, and then there's also Cardinal Copia. But there's a storyline going on behind it. Like, so with the first album, Opus Eponymous, which was released in 2010, I believe. They had some singles before that, but their first album was 2010, Opus Eponymous, with Papa Emeritus 1, and he has a very distinct skull face paint. Next was Infantesimum, 2013, with Papa Emeritus 2. Storyline-wise, the younger brother of Papa Emeritus 1. Papa Emeritus 3 comes out in Meliora, 2015, who is the youngest brother of the trio. The storyline being that every time a new album is released, the lead singer passes the mantle down to the next younger brother. Then, at the end of the tour for the third album, Papa Nihil, who is the oldest member of the clergy or whatever, he comes out, and band members drag Papa 3 away off stage to God knows where. And while he's being dragged away, Papa Nihil says they're going to do some technical difficulties and change in leadership of the church, of the band. And in that time, they're going to re-release some songs from their 60s album, from their band in the 60s. Now, anyone listening would say, hey, that doesn't make any sense. You just said their first album was in 2010. That's true. Storyline-wise, the band's been around since the 60s. Actually, it's just they added some new instruments to this to the band for this re-release, and did these songs with church organs as well to make it sound like an old 60s and 70s song, and the songs rock, anyways. Shortly after that, because around the time of Meliora, I believe, is when they started doing YouTube videos to announce storyline beats. And during this 7 Inches of Satanic Panic thing, they announced that there's adding a new lead singer to the group named Cardinal Copia, who needs to earn his paint, the face paint. Because each of the Papas comes out, like, they'll be seen without it off stage. And I keep doing this, but the reason is because it's all, like, metaphorically, like, for the storyline. And I'll explain what that means here in a little bit. But he has to earn his paint. Then, in a video released on YouTube, we see the 3 Papa Emeritus that we've had for albums 1, 2, and 3, playing cards talking about who's going to be the next, like, who's going to be in charge of the band for the next album. When masked men come up and kill them all. All 3 are killed. Now, the reason being is, during backstage tours, if you pay for the extra backstage pass, you can tour the mausoleum of Papa Emeritus, in which you get to see the dead bodies of all the Papa Emeritus before. It's all insane, I know, but let me just get to the end of this and we'll go from there. During Prequel, which is the 2018 release, their 4th album, Cardinal Copia is in charge of the band. He's the young guy who they brought in to, like, lead the church now. And he is more energetic, and he's dancing around. And at the end of the tour, during Life Eternal, Papa Nihil, who's been playing saxophone and doing some backing stuff for the run of the tour, has a heart attack on stage and collapses. And in that process, the Sisters of whatever, I can't remember the name of them, they surround Cardinal Copia, and he becomes Papa 4. He gets his face paint. He becomes the new Papa Emeritus. God, my mask is making my face itchy. I don't know. I think my hair is cotton and it's tickling me. So then for the rest of the prequel tour, it's Papa 4 instead of Cardinal Copia. Then for the newest album, it's Impera. Oh, sorry. And Impera was released in 2022. Papa 4 is the lead singer and the leader of the band. And they would resurrect Papa Nihil, Papa Zero, as like a zombie for different songs. Now, all these different Papas and like everything, it's all just for story. Because the lead singer is always the same. It's the same guy, Tobias Forge, which we didn't know until 2017, when half the band members sued for more rights. They were like, we want more money. And he's like, well, I do everything for the band, so piss off. He's like, you're contracted musicians. And they didn't like him saying that, so they threatened to sue and release his name. And so he was like, do it. So they did. They sued, and I think he won, but his identity was out. And he was like, well, okay. Because up until this point, for the first 10 years that the band was the thing, no one knew who they were. They were always masked, and no one knew what they looked like. Hang on just a second. But yes, it's always been the same lead singer. He wears a fake latex mask over his face, and then paints it for the concerts. It's all characters to him, you know. It's intense, an intensely deep way to keep your own identity. God dang it. I just need to go through this thing with a fine-tooth comb and get all the hairs out of it. Each album had kind of a different storyline to it and everything. But I went through and I went ahead and wrote down some of my favorite songs from each album for the most part. Don't get me wrong, I could sit down and listen to most of the albums and be totally fine with all of them. But some of the albums had my favorite songs. Like the very first album, Opus Eponymous. The only two songs I love. I love Ritual, and in the Japanese version of the Japanese release of the album, they do a cover of Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles in a minor key, and it is haunting. Next, I did Infancesinum. I don't want to butcher it, but I just did, so fuck. Some of my favorite songs from that one are Secular Haze, Gigolo Megiddo, Goulet / Zombie Queen, and what most consider one of their most popular songs, Year Zero, another dark song. Next up, Meliora, Circe, He Is. This is a cover of another song, If You Have Ghost. That's a good one. Absolution, Majesty, and the first song I showed you, the Scooby-Doo song, Square Hammer. All great songs. The 7 Inches of Satanic Panic it's only 2 songs. It's the front and back side of a 45. And it is Kiss Kiss the Goat and Mariana Cross. Mariana Cross is one of my favorite songs ever. Well, that and Square Hammer, and then Rats, which Rats is on the next album. But you listen to both of those. There's also a music video for Kiss Kiss the Goat, which is it's supposed to be a 60s re-release music video. It's really good. Gosh, I'm starting to get stuffy again. I wonder if the cat is sleeping on this, and I don't know. Maybe there's so much hair in it. Prequel, some of my favorite songs: Rats, Faith, Dance Macabre, my new favorite, Witch Image, and Life Eternal. Great, all of them. And then for Impera, that's the first album I ever got by them, and I listened to the whole thing on repeat over and over. Every song on the album is amazing. In fact, this song, Watcher in the Sky, first song I heard from this album. Gold. But for this band, the reason I want to do this is because tonight I went and saw my cousin and her husband, and I got to hang out with their family for a little while, and I wanted to give them a shout out because I got to show them some of my videos on YouTube, and they really liked it. They thought it was really good. I think they said it was really good. So I want to give them a shout out. Payden, Coop, Elle, Cambria, even little Milo, and your crazy kitties. I love you all so much. And the reason I say that is, I love them, but the reason I also brought up Ghost with that is because, as a birthday present this year, Abby and Payden and Cooper, my cousins, they took me out to a Ghost concert in St. Louis, and oh my god, dude. Cardinal Copia, well, I guess Papa 4 now, Tobias Forge, they know how to put on a dang show, dude. They rock hard. It's so much fun. I had a blast at the concert. But, anyways, I want to do a full in-depth video on the storyline of Ghost and all their albums and everything at some point, because I love them. Their music is really good, and it actually helped me back to my religion, which, I know, very bizarre story. Dark satanic band helps me back to being a Christian, and I still love their music. Insane. Doesn't sound like it would make sense, and it might not, but to me, it works. Video for another time. I'm ready for bed, and I think you guys probably are too, considering how late it is. But anyways, this has been your Lord of Lunacy, Jester Jack. Lord Jester Jack, my apologies. And thank you so much for sticking around this long. If you like the band, go ahead and check them out. Look up Ghost. If you don't like the band, you stuck around for 15 minutes about a band you didn't really care for, so thanks. Leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. See, clearly I'm very tired. Like, comment, subscribe down below. If you have any suggestions for Halloween videos, leave a comment. Let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas. Thank you all so much for watching. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the darkness around you because, guys, this world is a scary place. And I don't know what else to tell you, man. If you can't enjoy the darkness sometimes, you're not really going to find much to enjoy out there. Take care, guys. Love you.